Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Diana and the Book Hunt. Today is a brand new, not so sunny, very gloomy, overcast type of day. It's actually raining, and because I have my window quite close to the camera right now, you might be hearing a bit of the rain sounds. I hope that it's soothing for you because it is very soothing for me. It's like a very typical Sunday, grab your blanket, sit on the couch with a cup of tea kind of day, and I'm very happy that I get to share it with you because I'm going to be doing my first official book haul with you. Let me just do a short explanation that I'm probably not going to be doing very many of these in the near future, simply because I don't typically tend to buy a lot of physical copies of books. There are a couple of reasons for that. The first one being that I haven't yet built the library of my dreams in my home yet, so I'm not able to really organize my books and the ones that I have, and also kind of keep them in good condition, which is one of my conditions for having physical books. So I really am trying to hold myself back and try not to buy too many physical books because I really want to be able to take care of them properly. The second reason is that in the past couple of years, because I haven't had a library of my own, I've tended to just pick up ebooks and audiobooks, and that's kind of become my go-to medium for reading books. However, in the past couple of months, also partially because I started my booktube channel, I've purchased a couple of books, but I've also received quite a few very generous gifts from friends of mine that I want to share with you. And also, I discovered this website which allows me to purchase secondhand books online. It's called Awesome Books. I'm very happy that I discovered this website because they have quite a few deals going on throughout the year. And even though it's in the UK and I do have to pay shipping costs and like taxes, income taxes, and stuff like that, it's still quite a bit more affordable than having to buy books where I'm from, because they're usually quite expensive. So I'm very happy that I was able to purchase a couple of books from there, and I really can't wait to show you all the books that I bought. I do have to say that this video will not be focusing on a lot of romance books because I've bought just books that I've always wanted to own, and also books which I believe will also look good on my bookshelf, and also books which maybe are outside of my comfort zone because I want to challenge myself to read those books because they've been recommended so many times and they've had such amazing reviews. So I don't really have too many. I don't think that I have any actually romance books here, but yeah, stick around to find out which books I have for this book haul. I know that on my channel I typically talk about romance books, but I do have to give you a fair warning that in this book haul I don't have many romance books that I've purchased. Most of the books that I've purchased are general fiction. I have a couple of non-fiction books, a couple of I think like fantasy books. I'm not sure whether it's fantasy. I don't know what genre that'd be categorized as, but most of them are fiction books. And the first one I'm going to start with is a non-fiction book. It's called Sapiens. I think it's a very popular book, so most of you will probably be familiar with it. And this book was gifted to me by a very, very dear friend of mine. He told me that when he read it, he flew through it and that it was quite a fun and engaging book to go through. It's, I think, a short depiction of human history, and what I understood is that it's written in very short and engaging chapters so that you can really fly through it. I'm really curious about it, and I want to see how I'm going to fare with it because it's written so it's translated into Bulgarian, and I don't typically read too much in Bulgarian, but I do need to start doing that because just to give you a short background, I didn't graduate in my home country. I graduated in the Netherlands, so my Bulgarian can definitely use a bit of a polish, so I should definitely pick this up sometime soon and see whether I like it. I'm so excited to tell you that I purchased the next book for like a steal of a price on Awesome Books, and I do need to mention that this is in no way sponsored or affiliated by Awesome Books. I just absolutely love their website, and if you are like I am outside of the US, it's just so hard to find good books for reasonable prices, and if you want to check them out, I think that it will help you as much as it helped me. The book that I purchased is Born a Crime by Trevor Noah. I absolutely love Trevor Noah. I have to say that he was on my radar way before he became the host of The Daily Show, which he has been for a couple of years now, so he's gained quite a bit of traction. And I just love that he uses his intelligence the most to actually be funny, and he's just such an awesome person, and I've heard him speak about this book quite a lot, and I think that it's going to be a gem of a read, so I can't wait to start reading it, and I'm just so happy that I have it purchased and it's going to be on my shelf as well. The next read on my list is quite a heavy one, as far as I understood from people that I've heard have read it on BookTube. It's My Dark Vanessa, and it has a gorgeous cover. I absolutely loved it, and I had to buy the hard copy of it because it was just the more beautiful one than the paperback. I absolutely think I'm going to love this. It's about a student and a teacher relationship, and I believe it involves also child grooming, so if you're going to pick up this book, check out the trigger warnings of the book. And I've heard just so many amazing things about it. I do know it's a heavy read, so I'm going to kind of try to find a time when I'm ready to read it, but I'm definitely going to pick it up this year. The next book is Erin Morgenstern's The Night Circus. I've always wanted to own a physical copy of this book, and I'm so happy that I found it on Awesome Books for kind of a steal of a price as well. And it's one which has like the colored red pages, which I absolutely love, so I am so happy that I got to purchase this finally, because I've wanted to own a copy for it for so long. The next book is Far From the Tree by Robin Manway. I think that this book was making its rounds quite a while ago. I think it was on Reese's book club, and a lot of people were reading it. It was nominated, I believe, also for many awards. It actually, I think it says, yeah, it's the National Book Awards winner in 2017, and I think it's kind of like a coming of age story for a girl who just recently gave up her baby for adoption. And I'm very interested in reading this book, and I have to say that I'm so charmed by the fact that this is a second-hand copy and it's like nobody has touched it. It's really just so preserved, and I'm so happy that I have this version of the cover because I love this color and I think it's going to look great on my shelf, and I'm happy to own it. I cannot begin to describe how happy I am, how enthused I am that I got my hands on the copy of the following book I'm going to discuss. It's I, Cosmo by Carlie Sorosiak. This book I've had on my radar for so many years, I have to say, and I've always wanted to purchase a physical copy, and I finally did. It's a book which is told from the perspective of a golden retriever, and I just can't wait to read it. I've heard so many amazing things about it, and I absolutely love dogs. I used to have a lab myself, so I really am so happy that I got my hands on this, and I can't wait to read it. I'll definitely pick it up this year. The next book needs no introduction at all. I think everyone on planet Earth has read it. It's The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. This book I've had on my radar ever since it got hyped up a couple of years ago. I have it in my audio library. I now also own it in a physical copy, and I am really kind of waiting for my mood to be right for me to pick it up. I definitely want to read it because I love Greek mythology, and I've just heard only good positive things about this book, so I'll definitely pick it up sometime this year. And I'm just happy that I have a physical copy now because I do know I'm probably going to love this. Next up, we have The Sword of Kaigen by M.L. Wang. This book, I believe, was recommended. I first saw it on Reagan's channel from Peruse Project. She hyped this book up so much, and especially because it's a standalone fantasy book which is centered around Asian culture. I absolutely adore the premise of the book, and I definitely want to pick it up. It is a bit of a chunky book. I don't know, I think it has like 600 something pages, but I still want to get to it this year because it just sounds like an amazing read. And I think I bought it off of Amazon when there was a sale, like I think, was it Black Friday or around Christmas time. I bought this and I'm really happy that I got to buy it for like 7 or 8 euros or so. So it was a steal for me as well. And yeah, I'm really happy with this one. Next up, we have Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. This book, I believe I first heard about it on Haley's channel from Haley in Bookland, and she said that this is just such a marvelous story. She absolutely loved it, and I'm really curious about it as well. It does look a bit like a Halloween type of book, so I think I'm going to put it off to read sometime in October, but I'm definitely very curious about it. And just look at this gorgeous cover. I absolutely adore it, so I can't wait to pick it up as well. It will come as no surprise to anyone who has been following my channel that I have a Taylor Jenkins Reid book on this list as well. Since last year, since I read Daisy Jones and the Six and The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, I've been meaning to read all of Taylor Jenkins Reid's works. And I've read a couple in audiobook format, but I wanted to purchase her latest release, which is called Malibu Rising. This looks like the perfect beach read to me. Actually, on the cover it says the perfect beach read with the emotional depth of the ocean. So I'm definitely going to be putting this off until my summer holiday so I can pick it up then. And I just can't wait to see whether it's going to be living up to my expectations. The next two books were also recommended by Haley from Haley in Bookland, and when she explained the concept behind the two books, I was so intrigued by them. I really wanted to purchase copies of these books, and I found them secondhand on Awesome Books as well, and they're in quite good shape, so I'm really happy about that as well. It's Wolf by Wolf and Blood for Blood by Ryan Graudin. The concept behind these two books is what would have happened if Hitler had won World War II. Let me just preface this by saying that I don't typically tend to pick up books which center around World War II, but this concept just sounded like such an interesting concept because it deals with a different type of scenario as to what we know happened. So I really want to know how this is worked out. And yeah, because right now I'm kind of in a mood, because it's already spring and summer is coming up, to read lighter reads. I don't think I'm going to be picking these two up right now, but I definitely want to pick them up this year. So once I finish them, I'll definitely let you know whether they're worth the read. The next book is quite popular on BookTube as well. It's Ace of Spades, and it's a dark academia setting, I believe. And I have to say, after I read Atlas 6 last year by Olivia Blake, I kind of got in the mood to read more dark academia style books. So I definitely wanted to pick up this book as well, and I'm really happy that I got to buy this on sale from Amazon as well. So I really can't wait to figure out whether this is going to be for me, and I'll definitely let you know whether it's worth the hype as well. The next book I picked up because I was kind of browsing through what Awesome Books has to offer in terms of secondhand books, and I found a copy of this book, which is called A Gentleman in Moscow by Amor Towles. This book, I absolutely knew nothing about this book, but the cover was just so striking to me. I really found it to be gorgeous, so I kind of went on to Goodreads to see what the synopsis was about, and there is one thing which caught my attention, which is one specific question. I'll read it out to you. It says, "Can a life without luxury be the richest of all?" This sounds like such an intriguing read for me. I know that it follows a Russian aristocrat, and I know nothing about the premise itself. I just thought that it has a gorgeous cover and kind of an interesting premise from the couple of sentences that I caught on Goodreads, and it had a very, very decent price. I think that it has a decent price because there is a small kind of a writing here on the cover. I don't mind it at all, so I don't care that it's been written in. And I really think that I'm very intrigued to read this book, and I've heard good things about it as well, so I can't wait to pick it up. I know I just told you I don't typically read books which are centered around World War II, any type of historical books which are centered around that era. I really don't, but I'm going to make an exception for the next book because I absolutely adore the author's works. It's Amy Harmon's From Sand and Ash. Every single book that I've picked up by this author has been a 4 or 5 star read for me, and she has a beautiful way of writing. I absolutely love their work, so I'm going to be reading this book regardless if I like or don't like the subject, and I'm going to let you know whether it's worth it sometime this year. It has a gorgeous, gorgeous cover. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's Florence, which is depicted on here, which is one of my absolute favorite cities in the whole world. So yeah, I really can't wait to read this. Next up, we have The Curious Incident of a Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haddon. I've always wanted to own a copy of this book. I know that it's a very popular book, and also I've heard only positive things about it. I know that it follows a teenager, 14 or 15-year-old boy who has Asperger's syndrome, and he is set to kind of unravel a murder mystery surrounding a dog. And the story just sounds like a very intriguing one for me, and I really want to pick it up sometime this year as well. I don't know if I'm going to get time for it, but I'll let you know once I finish it whether it's worth the hype as well. When I spoke about the Song of Achilles, I told you that I love Greek mythology. I think most booktubers love Greek mythology anyway. I love it as well. So I had to purchase this book, Mythos by Stephen Fry. He has quite a few books, I don't know how many, which center around Greek mythology. I haven't read any of his books before, but I definitely want to start reading to see whether I'm going to like them. If I like this one, I'm going to purchase more of his works. And yeah, I just want to read more Greek mythology centered books besides the Song of Achilles. This one, I also want to read Circe. I want to read Ariadne. There's also one which I don't remember the title of. It was like something like 12 Ships or something, which centers around Greek goddesses, I believe. I'm not sure, but I've just found a couple of books that I really, really want to read which center around Greek mythology, and this is definitely one of them. The next 2 books I want to talk about are 2 books which have been sitting on my TBR list on Goodreads for forever, and I've been wanting to find physical copies of these books for forever as well, because they sounded like amazing, heartwarming and heartbreaking reads, both of them. The first one is called Drums, Girls and Dangerous Pie by Jordan Sonnenblick. This book, I'll just read the back for you because it has a short description. It says, 13-year-old Stephen plays drums in a band, has a crush on the hottest girl in school, and is driven mad by his 5-year-old brother Jeffrey. But then Jeffrey gets sick and Stephen's world is turned upside down. I know that this book is very emotional and heartbreaking, but also deals with the situations within it with a lot of humor. That's why I wanted to pick it up so badly, and I can't wait to read it. I'm so happy. I think I got it for like €3 on Awesome Books, which is an absolute steal, and I am so happy that I found this copy. Actually, someone has kind of made the heart shape more heartier with a pencil or a pen. So I think that this was owned probably by a teenager as well, which is so precious to me, and I absolutely love this copy. The second book, which is also very heartwarming or heartbreaking, I don't know yet, is The Shape of My Heart. And I think that this book actually had a different title, but I don't remember what the title was on Goodreads. And I know that it's about, I think, like a Craigslist ad, if I'm not mistaken, or some kind of an ad posted on a website, and the main heroine reacts to the ad, which totally changes her life. So when I found out about this book on Goodreads, I put it on my TBR, and I've always been looking back and saying to myself, I really need to read this book and I really need to find a copy of it. So I'm so happy that I did, and I can't wait to pick it up. The next book needs no introduction at all. It's one of the most popular books of the past couple of years. It's Sally Rooney's Normal People. This book also is especially popular because there is an HBO series which I haven't watched. I always want to read the book first before I watch a movie, so I can kind of compare which one I like more. And this cover, specifically this cover of the book, I absolutely love, and I can't wait to pick up the book. And I also have it in audio, I believe, so I think I'm going to read both simultaneously to see, and also to annotate if necessary. And I can't wait to read it to see whether it's worth the hype. Next up is a book by an author that I've read one book from before. I read The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, and I think I have Concrete Rose, which is the prequel to The Hate You Give, on my list in my audio library as well, so I'm going to be picking up that book as well. And I purchased a secondhand copy of On the Come Up, which is you can see the price behind it. It was £199, which is just an absolute steal. So when I saw that it's just so marked off, I had to buy it because I think that I'll absolutely love it, because I love The Hate You Give, and I've heard only good things about Concrete Rose as well, so I don't doubt that this book will be amazing as well, so I'll definitely read it. Let me tell you more about why I absolutely love Awesome Books as a website, because the next book I'm going to talk about is one which I received from them for free. They have a concept where whenever you purchase a book, they gift one to someone else, and they do that to support literacy. They also really are in favor of fighting climate change, and they really want to kind of support having more used books in circulation. So they really are promoting people buying used books more. They give a lot of kind of promotions and vouchers to people who want to purchase more used books, which I absolutely loved. And yeah, the book that I just received from them is called This Is How It Always Is. And I didn't know anything about the book, but I did see that Leanne Moriarty wrote about it, that it made her laugh, it made her cry, and it made her think. What I read in the back of the book is that the book is about a family with loads of children in the picture, and the youngest boy tells his parents that he wants to become a chef, a vet, a dinosaur, a farmer, a scientist, and a girl when he grows up. So yeah, it's going to be a heavy, interesting read. I absolutely adore the cover for it, and I can't wait to pick it up. Thank you so much, Awesome Books, for selecting specifically this book for me, because I think I'm going to love it. And I absolutely adore their concept of gifting books to support literacy. So if you ever find that you need to purchase a book, please visit their website and see whether it's going to be on there, so you can purchase it from there and you can support the literacy of other people as well. The next book was gifted to me by one of my dearest, oldest friends, Elly, who gifted this book to me on my birthday. She gave me How to Stop Time by Matt Haig. I absolutely love the Midnight Library, and I think I spoke to her about it quite a lot, which is what possibly left an impression on her that I'm going to like this book as well. I'm definitely going to be reading it, and I'll definitely let you know whether I liked it as much as the Midnight Library. This is a translated copy in Bulgarian, and I actually think that I also have the Bulgarian translated audiobook, so I'm probably going to be reading both at the same time. And yeah, I hope I like it as much as the previous book I read by this author. The next book I picked up myself, it's by a Bulgarian author and it has a very interesting concept. It's a non-fiction book. It's by Elly Tsonova. I actually know the author and I really want to support her work because she's doing such a marvelous job, not only as a writer but also as a photographer. The book is called When I Grow Up, I Want to Become a Foreigner, and it deals with, it's actually interview styled book where she interviews people, Bulgarians specifically, who have lived abroad and have come back to Bulgaria, and she interviews them about their choices, why they decided to go somewhere, why they felt they need to come back. And I absolutely love the idea behind the book, and it also has an interview included by one of my dearest friends, Reid, so I definitely want to see what it says about his journey as well, so I'll definitely be reading this one as well. After having talked about 20 plus books on this book haul, I think it's time to let you go. I promised myself I want to sit on my couch, read my book and drink a cup of tea, so I'm going to do just that. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a memorable first book haul for me and I hope you liked it as well. Please let me know if you have any interest in picking up any of these books, and if you've read any of these books, I also want to know about them. DM me on Instagram, follow me there as well, follow me here as well, subscribe to my channel whenever you haven't done so yet. I hope to see you very, very soon. Happy reading, take care, have a marvelous day. Bye bye.